Hello and welcome to Mirror Mind, a place where we gently untangle the complexities of human behavior, one conversation at a time. If you've ever found yourself swept off your feet in a whirlwind of romance, only to later feel confused, discarded, or even manipulated, this episode is for you. Today, we'll talk about something called love bombing, what it is, how it works, and why it's one of the most powerful tools in a narcissist's arsenal. This will be a long and thorough exploration. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's dive deep together. Chapter 1. What is love bombing? ***. Love bombing might sound like a good thing at first. Who wouldn't want to be showered with love, praise, attention, and affection? But behind this overwhelming outpour of positivity often lies a darker intent. Love bombing is a form of emotional manipulation. It's the act of overwhelming someone with signs of adoration and attraction, like gifts, compliments, and constant communication, in order to manipulate them. It's often used by narcissists and emotional abusers early in the relationship to gain control over their target. During the love bombing phase, the target often feels euphoric, like they've found their soulmate. Everything feels perfect, fast, intense. But that's the red flag. Healthy relationships grow steadily. Love bombing, on the other hand, is like setting fire to dry grass. It burns hot and fast but quickly turns to ashes. Chapter 2. Origins and Psychological Roots ***. The term love bombing wasn't originally used in psychology. It was first associated with the Unification Church, a religious movement that used intense displays of love and attention to recruit new members. But soon, therapists and psychologists noticed similar patterns in toxic and abusive relationships. Narcissists use love bombing to feed their egos. They crave attention and validation, not love in the genuine sense. To a narcissist, people are tools to achieve emotional highs, not partners to cherish. Love bombing is their strategy for hooking someone quickly before that person has a chance to spot red flags. What makes this tactic especially dangerous is how disarming it can be. Victims often interpret the intense interest and affection as real love. They feel seen, special, chosen. By the time the narcissist's behavior shifts to criticism, control, or indifference, the target is already emotionally invested. Chapter 3. The 3 Phases of Narcissistic Abuse ***. Love bombing is just the beginning. It's part of a 3-phase cycle of narcissistic abuse. 1. Idealization ***. This is the love bombing stage. The narcissist puts you on a pedestal. You're perfect in their eyes. They mirror your values, exaggerate your connection, and seem to know exactly what to say and do to make you feel adored. 2. Devaluation ***. Once they sense that you're hooked, the tone changes. They become critical. The affection wanes. You might start to question what you did wrong. You feel anxious, confused, and desperate to get back to the honeymoon stage. 3. Discard ***. When you no longer serve their needs or when they find a new target, they may abruptly end things, sometimes coldly without explanation. Or they may keep you in a cycle of push and pull, toying with your emotions. Understanding this cycle is essential to recognizing love bombing for what it is, the bait in a trap. Chapter 4. How to Recognize Love Bombing ***. So how do you know if you're being love bombed? Here are some signs to watch for. Too much, too soon ***. Talking about love, commitment, or even marriage very early in the relationship. Excessive compliments ***. While praise is normal, a love bomber will flood you with it constantly, sometimes inappropriately or exaggeratedly. Non-stop communication ***. Texts, calls, DMs, they want your attention 24/7. And if you don't reply quickly, they might guilt trip you. Lavish gifts ***. Especially early in the relationship, these can be used to create a sense of obligation. Isolation tactics ***. Subtly discouraging you from spending time with friends or family. They may frame it as wanting you all to themselves. Over-the-top flattery ***. Comments like, "You're the most amazing person I've ever met," or "I've never felt this way about anyone before," within days or weeks. Remember, healthy love respects boundaries, space, and time. It doesn't demand immediate intensity. Chapter 5. The Neuroscience Behind the High ***. Here's where things get tricky and dangerous. Love bombing lights up the brain. Literally. When someone is bombarded with affection, praise, and validation, the brain releases chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, the same ones released during drug use. It creates a natural high. You feel euphoric, addicted even. The narcissist becomes the source of this high. But when the behavior shifts during the devaluation phase, you crash. Now, your brain craves the high again. This is why people often stay in toxic relationships. They're chemically addicted to the cycle. Understanding the neuroscience can help break the spell. Once you know that what you're experiencing isn't love but addiction, you can begin to reclaim control. Chapter 6: Why Narcissists Use Love Bombing ***. So, what's in it for them? Control ***. By making you feel special, they gain influence over your emotions, decisions, and even your sense of identity. Ego boost ***. Your admiration feeds their fragile self-esteem. Supply ***. In narcissistic terms, supply refers to attention, praise, and validation. You become their emotional fuel. Avoiding intimacy ***. Ironically, narcissists often fear real emotional closeness. Love bombing mimics intimacy without requiring vulnerability. They aren't building a relationship, they're constructing a fantasy in which they are adored and idealized. Chapter 7: Real-life examples of love bombing ***. Let's take a look at some real-world scenarios that illustrate what love bombing looks like. These are fictional composites based on common experiences shared in therapy sessions and support groups. Case 1: Rachel and Mark ***. Rachel met Mark through a dating app. Within 2 days, Mark was texting her nonstop. Within a week, he told her he loved her. He bought her an expensive bracelet after their second date. Rachel was flattered but overwhelmed. Her friends were concerned, but she thought she had just found someone who really knew how to love. 2 months later, Mark began making negative comments about her friends and how much time she spent at work. When Rachel tried to pull away, Mark accused her of being ungrateful. Case 2: David and Elise ***. Elise met David at a friend's party. He was charming, attentive, and told her she was the most incredible woman he had ever met. Within a week, he introduced her to his family. He sent flowers to her office. Then suddenly he became distant, blaming her for not being as affectionate as before. Elise became anxious and started trying harder to please him, chasing the man she thought he was. These are just 2 of thousands of stories. Love bombing is powerful because it taps into a universal human need to be loved, cherished, and wanted. Chapter 8: The Emotional Aftermath ***. When the love bombing stops and the narcissist begins to pull away or devalue the victim, the emotional toll can be devastating. Victims often feel confused ***. How could someone go from idolizing me to ignoring or criticizing me? Insecure ***. Was it something I did? Depressed ***. The withdrawal of affection feels like emotional starvation. Obsessed ***. Many victims replay the love bombing stage in their minds, hoping to get it back. This emotional crash is part of the manipulation. The narcissist created a fantasy, and when it collapses, it leaves the victim doubting themselves, their worth, and their judgment. Recovery starts with recognizing that the love bombing wasn't love, it was control disguised as affection. And that brings us to the end of this deep dive into love bombing, the narcissist's favorite weapon. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you. It means you're taking steps to better understand your experience, or perhaps someone else's. And that is an act of courage. At Mirror Mind, we believe healing begins with awareness. The more clearly we can name the harm done to us, the more power we have to break its hold. So whether you're recovering from a toxic relationship, supporting someone you care about, or just trying to learn more, know this: you are not alone, and what happened to you is not your fault. Real love never has to be forced. It never rushes, never manipulates, and never controls. Real love feels safe, steady, and mutual. If someone made you feel like love was a performance you had to earn, that wasn't love, that was control. Thank you for spending your time with us today. If this episode spoke to you, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with someone who might need it. And as always, take a moment to breathe, to center yourself, and to remember you are worthy of love that doesn't hurt. Until next time, this is Mirror Mind. Stay gentle with yourself.